All right, here we go. Close to the end of another work day. Friday wrapping up. Boy, it was busy. And it wasn't all done, and it's still busy. Anyway, here we go. Just about ready to start the weekend. We're getting close. I hope that you're doing well and that your weekend is coming up sooner than later so that you can start that weekend and get out to doing things that would help you enjoy and relax and whatever you do to unwind, to take care of yourself. I hope you take care of yourself and that you're able to disconnect from some of the cares and the concerns that happen that weigh you down. Anyway, yeah, I think I want to revisit some of the things we were talking about earlier in the morning video, but we'll shift topics slightly. I've been sitting with this topic of charity. You know, we read in the scriptures about what charity is. Charity is a virtue, and I've been pondering on that because it seems to me that in our society, and this is just my opinion, so feel free to disagree with me, because I'm not always I'm not always correct. But in my mind I am, but I'm not always correct. And I love to hear other views, and I like to broaden my own view. But the trend that I'm starting to see is that charity is looked at more of simply giving money or giving things to agencies that then distribute those things to people who are in need. And so it's less of the community coming together to help somebody in need, but it's more of a help is given to a gatekeeper who then distributes that to who they deem as needy. And I'm not against that. I think it's fine. It works. But here's the thing. I've been pondering on this. What is charity? Is charity writing a check and giving it to an organization? Is charity, it almost seems like charity in a sense is a bill that you pay. You give money and then you look the other way, and you don't ever have to worry about helping feed the hungry or clothe the naked, because you've given your offering, you've given your donation, you gave the money, and then somebody else is responsible for actually doing the work of clothing and feeding and helping and supporting those sick and afflicted and whoever is in need. So I'm pondering on this charity as a virtue, or charity being a disposition of a person to help another person because that other person is worthy of receiving that help, freely given, without any expectation of return, but doing that service simply because that person, is a child of God, is another brother or sister who perhaps is going through a time that's really challenging for them. So I've been sitting with that. I'm thinking about that more. That's not a perfect definition, but do you understand where I'm coming from? That, case in point, my wife and I had an opportunity to donate to a local charity, and it was kind of a cool experience because, we gave some money, and then they explained how the money is used and who it benefits and who it helps. And that was really cool to see. However, the experience was sort of soured a little later on because we got a letter in the mail that said, "Hey, we really appreciate your donation." That was kind of them to say that. But then it was we would really like you to make this a monthly, ongoing contribution. And then it had a challenge of putting in a set amount monthly. now I'm not against this kind of fundraising or this kind of thing, but it almost made it seem like, oh, it's just another bill that I pay, and then I write a check to the charity and I pay that bill. I pay my electricity bill. I pay the bill, and then I keep the service. So I'm still working through that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, because maybe I'm completely off. Because maybe charity is just giving money or things and looking the other way. Right? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not helping that homeless person and explaining to them, there's a shelter over here that you can go to. At the shelter, you can get some services. I can take you to the shelter. I can give you a ride in my car. I can drop you off. You need a haircut? I can take you and get you a haircut. You need some skills. Well, there's an agency down here downtown. And again, I'm pointing out these agencies, but like, at what point is it, my responsibility to go out of my way, to give of my own time, to give of my own efforts to help somebody? So charity is not just giving to an organization that's called a charity. It's giving of oneself, really going the extra mile with that person, really striving for their benefit. Anyway, very interesting to consider. Again, I don't have answers. These are my thoughts, and I'm going to continue to think about it more, because I just love the idea of it being, if I were to think about what Jesus would do, the type of charity that he would give, obviously the one who has given us remission of our sins, who has saved us from the fires of hell, who has given us a second chance, even because we don't even deserve the number of chances that he has given us, but he gives them out of pure charity. Pure charity. Pure love. His pure love. The pure love of God. So how can I do that? How can I be more charitable in my love, in my giving? Maybe even my offerings. Yeah, good things to think about. Because we all want to give to feel good, and sometimes I think we confuse that. We give to feel good, but what if what we give is not what they really need? What if what I give does not actually help? But it makes me feel good, but it doesn't actually help the person. So I guess it's knowing the person well enough, or getting to know the person well enough, that you can give them what they need that will truly help them. And isn't that what love is all about? Giving somebody freely, giving to someone what they need to be whole. Yeah, I like that. Well, those are some of the thoughts. I will probably we'll probably leave it here. When I get to the next light, I'll let you go. I'm not quite to my destination yet. Still on the way. Seeing a lot of the Friday traffic, which is laughable considering where I'm at, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, in fact, I'm almost there. We'll be there right after this next light. protesting over there. Peaceful protest, it looks like. Those are the kind of protests we like. We don't like the violent ones. Alrighty. I think I may have chosen the wrong entry point. Alright, I haven't been down this road in a little while. Hang tight, here we go. Always an adventure. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wish you a very great day, a good evening. For me, it's the weekend's coming up, and looking forward to it. So, until next time, be safe, be aware, know that you're loved, and we'll talk really soon.